URT, who are we? URT. Big up the URT army. Big up Jamie Wayne's already in here. Bro, I'm done with what the fuck. Get this. Big up Jamie Wayne. Listen, big up to you, bro. Let that dickhead do what he's doing. I've had enough. Man United need club ASAP. Your club ain't coming. Big up Alfredito though. Comedy FC. Here we go. Here we go. Big up to everybody who's in the house. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Yo, Erdin, you need to be vexed tonight. Listen, I got no energy for this. It's the shitty Europa League. I hate it. I hate the Europa League. You know that I hate this competition. So I'm not even that asked about it. But big up to everybody who's already in here. Hopefully, we're waiting. Maybe a couple of people might be jumping on. Hopefully they will. But big up to all of you. Big up Sheikh Arian, Chief of the United Real Therapy. Ten Hag. Amad's doing well, but I'm also reward performance of Anthony in training. He's a threat almost every training, so I felt the moment to bring him. Yeah, side of the game. Yo, I didn't watch the game, innit? I didn't watch the game. Jose talking here. They've got a point against us, not against them. We played amazing. Wow. Jose sticking the boot in. Stuck in the fucking boot in, mate. Adam, our players must be able to play several positions. I think Maswari had a good match. Played in that position at the beginning of his career. He's capable of it. Yeah, big up. Big up Unana as a double save. It doesn't matter. The important thing is to win. Yeah, he made a double save apparently. So he's on good form at least. We need more control than them. We showed character, but we didn't win. I think we were better than them. Yeah, big up. Big up Unana for coming out, speaking out. I can only imagine it's not easy. Andrew Unana is very disappointing for me. For the club, we have the obligation to win Man UFC, which we didn't do. We take our responsibility and move on. Yeah, big up. Big up Sheikh Arian for the beautiful quotes that he's getting us. Paul's goes, the two results you have to say, Porto away and tough place to go and good draw. Fenerbahce away, good draw. It's a home game that was really disappointing. The FC20 game. Yeah, he's been a bit positive. You should, yeah, big up Lesso. You should be beating those teams. Yeah, big up. Shakari and say Man UFC had last seven results. Crystal Palace 1-1, FC20 1-1, Crystal Palace 0-0, 3-0 Spurs, 3-3 Porto, 0-0, 2-1 at Brentford and 1-1 at Fenerbahce. Wow. Yo, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. But big up to you. I've got my cup of tea here. Cheers. Let's talk to me. How was the game? Obviously, I didn't watch it. I think I caught the last 2 minutes, but talk to me.
I'm not gonna lie. You actually dodged a bullet. You know, in terms of watching the game, you'd be devastated. I'm telling you, you'd be absolutely devastated. You know, Man United. You know, our overall play. You know, it's just disturbing. If you saw the lineup in itself, you would have been shocked as well. You know, we had Mazraoui playing as a 10 in this game. You know, we actually, like I predicted that we would do, we actually were cowards. We didn't go for the game. We actually played, we let Fenerbahce have the ball most of the time. They had more position. And, you know, that's what we predicted in the preview show. I did say that possibly this is what Ten Hag would do. It's just, I feel like the only difference was the lineup. Yet again, surprised a lot of people. A lot of eyebrows were raised. You know, your midfield, it was just weird. Honestly, I think he was playing with the 3 at the back because I'm not sure what was happening there. You know, but he did confirm before the game started that, you know, Mazraoui is starting in the 10, and you know, it's not sustainable. Whatever we've been doing, it's not sustainable. It's just pure boring to watch. I'm shocked at you know, our inability to actually dominate games. We still don't know how to dominate games. We let the oppositions have the ball. We play this cowardice football. And this is what I was afraid of, because I knew that if this manager stayed here, we are going to have a situation where he's actually going to try and play to save his job rather than actually implement whatever supposed to implement. So I'm sorry, as a Man United fan, we can't accept what we've just seen. This manager has to go. Three draws, 3 draws out of 3 games. I mean, where is that even accepted? I can't accept that. And what's worse is our performances. It's been flat. You look at towards even the end of the second half, it was all flat. There was absolutely nothing happening in those areas. And you look at his substitution. Yet Amad, Anthony had to come on and get injured 5 or 10 minutes later for Amad to actually get into the game. That's how bad the Amad situation is right now at Man United. So, it's just shocking all around. There's nothing longevity about whatever I've seen today. Like I said, even with the previous game, there's nothing longevity that you see in what we're trying to do. Everything is just us trying to survive at this point. You look at every game, it's you can just tell that the manager's under pressure. With the kind of selections that he makes, the type of style that we play, it does not scream longevity, does not scream have patience. This is a man that knows that he's working on a thin plank. He knows he's about to be dipped in the sea, and it's just showing right now that I knew that nothing about what we're ever going to do this season was ever going to be sustainable, because if you're keeping someone and he knows very well that you guys don't want him here and you just let him stay, what kind of environment do you think is going to create? If at the back of your head, that's constantly you're under huge scrutiny. It's not a good work environment for both parties. You can't walk into that kind of environment anywhere, in any kind of business, or even as an employee in a company. If I know my bosses they've been trying to replace me, they've been holding interviews, and behind my back about my position, I'm also not going to perform to the best of my ability. So for me, it's just a toxic situation at the moment. And I look at the game, you can see why we don't have faith in whatever that we're doing, because there's nothing of it that screams sustainability. We're going to see results, honestly, that are up and down throughout the entire season. This is what's going to be happening the entire season. We're not gonna have a consistent run. It's not happening this year, and they should have made a decision. I feel like they should have made that decision a lot earlier, because this hurts everyone involved. If I'm watching that, I can't have faith in whatever we're trying to do going forward. It's a travesty to watch, honestly. I almost fell asleep. This is the first time I actually finished a Man United game, but even though I finished it because I wanted to put out a proper analysis and actually have something objective to say, instead of saying, Ten Hag must go and all that. I was falling asleep throughout it. And that's bad, and it is what it is, but I knew he was gonna do this. And he overcomplicated the game for me personally. Leaving Casemiro on the bench. Immediately when Casemiro came on, the game, we started creating even more chances. We started looking good in the midfield. We started controlling, having a bit control of the midfield. But the Mazraoui thing, I'm sorry, like, he was trying to be smart there. And unfortunately, he's no Sir Alex Ferguson. I know a lot of managers are trying to be Sir Alex Ferguson. You cannot you cannot outsmart people like that. So, Fenerbahce had a couple of chances missed in the game as well. Onana had a good couple of saves, where you don't expect him. They were very close saves, which we actually expect De Gea to save, those kind of reflexes that he showed. So it shows that he does have it in him. But, long term, you just don't see anything. Like, I mean, as a fan, it is what it is. Like, I know most of the people who have watched the game are actually devastated. I don't know how we're going to make it out of and win this competition. Because right now, that's what they should be looking at. This is the competition that's the most important now for us. It's our bread and butter, unfortunately. It's our bread and butter, and we cannot afford to mess it up, because we know financial fair play is going to be on our next season. Adidas deal gone for 2 years. So, if he's not able to get us through in this competition and at least to even win it, because that's the bare minimum, that should be the bare minimum, then we're in serious trouble. And I fear that this ownership have actually written off the season, because if they're not making any kind of decisions whatsoever, then it means that they've written off the season already. It's damning on the club, and it means that whatever they've been preaching and whatever they've been doing are two separate things. It's either one or the other. You can't have all of them. You understand? So, yeah, I'm not encouraged with what I've seen, and it's a continuation of all the rubbish and crap we've been seeing throughout. I can't accept the style of football. If you're at least playing this style of football, get results. You can't be playing this crap and then getting bad results at the same time. Like, that doesn't make sense. We called out Mourinho for the exact same thing. We called out Solskjaer for the exact same thing. I can't flip-flop. I don't flip-flop. My views stay consistent with every manager that I see. If you're doing exactly what the other manager has been doing, and I've been criticizing the other manager of doing, I'm gonna call you out as well. You're all walking on the same line, personally. So for me, it's 3 years in, and there is no future in what we're doing. And there's no one who can tell me that they've seen anything sustainable from the way we've been playing going forward. I rest my case.
I think you're on mute, Nurde.
Yeah, Sean. What did you think of the game? What did you see? Tell us about the game. You have to go in about everything. Tell us about the game.
Yeah, sure. I just want to, it would not surprise me to surprise anyone that I disagree with everything that Leso has said. I think the people creating the toxicity are those that, have their, I think the people creating toxicity are those that have their pitchforks out basically every time. It's the same, narrative again, the whole thing. So, I mean, it's kind of tiring for me. And I just want to call BS on the idea that, there's something you can see clearly in any manager that guarantees future success. Because which manager in the last few years had the highest amount of points after 8 games? Solskjaer. Where did that get us, 2 years later? So the idea that there's something specifically that you can see that can guarantee you future success, I call BS. And the whole conversation, you guys know where I stand. It's tiring for me. I think, it's just noise at this point in time. And I hope that the club and the manager are able to block out the noise, because I think clearly the most toxicity is coming from inside the house. So, it would be helpful if the team can bottle down. But I think, to me, the game today, like, I don't really have strong feelings about it, right? I think we played well. For me, we look secure at the back. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing as a progress in terms of our defense. We look secure at the back. Aside from the weak link, Diallo. Diallo looks like the weakest link in our defense, but we look relatively secure. I like that, Ugarte was able to get a run of games. I'm glad to see him integrating into the squad. Was happy to see, Onana playing well as well. Rashford still looks sharp. Garnacho looks motivated. So, it looks to me like the team is getting stronger. The tactics are becoming more cohesive because, I think the 4-4-2, the new approach to pressing that, the manager is implementing, I think we saw some more of that today, where Rashford is playing a bit narrower, and it looks like we have 2 people up front. I really just hope that, the kind of childish mentality that has infected our fan base, where there's this petulance basically every single game. I hope the manager and the team is able to block out the noise, because today it seemed like we looked secure against a team that was very motivated. Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce, they came to play. And I think, maybe he's blowing smoke up our ass, but I think Mourinho acknowledged that as well in his comments after the game, that, people are going to want to criticize United. But to me, in the way this game played out, it was a tough game. A draw is a fair result. It's not, people who wanted Ten Hag to be sacked, they still have the same opinion. That whole gist is boring to me. I just think specifically for this game, more along the right direction, right? Strong in defense, we look secure. We're giving minutes to our key players, to important players like Ugarte and co. Working on the same tactical approach that we're starting to see improvements on, and with some more sharpness, right? With some more sharpness from Zirkzee, some more sharpness from Garnacho and Rashford. I think the improvement will come. But yeah, I don't know why we need to have the same, the same redundant conversation every time, every single game. It's the same. Oh, woe is us. Woe is Ten Hag. We're the worst thing ever, basically. I think it was a decent game today against a very tough, very hardworking, very motivated team that came here with a narrative, with the whole Mourinho thing. There was drama around the game. Yeah, I think it was a decent game. There's nothing for me to really get nonplussed or super hype about.
Yeah, big up. Obviously, I didn't see the game. Big up, Jarvis. Big up to everybody else in the chat. Please like and subscribe to the video. I caught the last 4 minutes, I think 4 minutes of injury time, 5 minutes or whatever it was. Obviously, I saw a little bit of the replay of Anthony getting injured. I hope it's not too bad. But yeah, Abadias, the Zizi, Barada, rest in peace.
I just want to add for anybody like insulting me on in the chat, just make sure you can spell properly, right? If you're gonna insult me, at least try to get your English.
Listen, don't personalize people. You don't need to personalize. Yeah, just debate the arguments that Sean's making. Nobody needs to personalize any shit. But go ahead, Jarvis. So obviously I didn't watch it, but I heard that Anthony got injured, bad injury, and he got stretchered off. I hope he's all right as well. But how did you see the game, Jarvis?
Yeah. It was nothing what I expected. I don't know what Ten Hag was thinking, putting Zirkzee on and Mazraoui as a number 10. I could see in 2 minutes that it wouldn't work. Zirkzee came on. He looks totally out of shape. He looks too heavy. He looks too slow. Everything he do is wrong, I would say. He had one assist, and that's basically it. And we have Mazraoui running around. He's obviously misplaced. I don't know what Ten Hag thought or the coaching team thought when they put Mazraoui in the 10. We have Diallo on the bench, for example. Use someone else. That was a total meltdown, in my opinion. So terrible team selection. How we play, we try to play out from the back. We have no plan.
Let me get this right. Jarvis, I just want to understand. Please speak slowly. He put Mazraoui
in the 10 here. Yeah. I said I know him from Ajax. He's good in between the lines or something like that. Yeah.
So we got Eriksen, we got Amad, we even got Zirkzee, but he put a left back, a right back.
Yeah.
And then okay. Carry on, Jarvis. Sorry to
I don't know what to say. It's fucking ridiculous. But excuse my swearing. When it comes to
Jarvis,
the game, we have
Jarvis. It's after hours.
Yeah. We have a game plan. Obviously, we have a game plan. We tried the game plan against Brentford. It worked. Now we try to play out from the back. We have Dwindloff, the softest man in Manchester. He can't even keep his torso straight. He goes like this, and we have people trying to play from the back, and they try to press us high man to man. And what do we try? We try to play out, but we have no movement, no one dropping down to receive the ball. So it ends in panic, and we just pass the ball in panic up front and get it back right into our face a couple of times, over and over again. So it's a terrible execution of the game plan. Because I don't know if he even instructed Mazraoui to drop deep. I was expecting Mazraoui to play as a 10, but drop deep and interchange with Eriksen to go up. So Mazraoui will receive the ball, play it around, and play it up to Eriksen, who will then be in the number 10. That will be the logical thing to do if you wanted to play Mazraoui. But we didn't. I don't know why. Garnacho, you do what Garnacho do. He always tries to dribble and pass his man. His decision making is awful. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit. And but Rashford was good today. I like Rashford. He looks fit. He looks in form. He looks sharp. So, but he was subbed in the, I would say, 60th minutes around that area. So I don't know, maybe saving him for West Ham, and he put on Anthony, who came on and injured himself. and
but
he dropped down, received some medical care, went to the sideline, waved to Ten Hag like this, "Don't sub me off," ran into the pitch 2 meters and fell down again. So they had to carry him out on a stretcher. I don't know why he insisted going into the pitch again after being injured. I don't, it's like a fucking comedy. So yeah, I have
so
sympathy for him
on the
being injured, but what the hell, man? Why did you go onto the pitch again just to lay down? It's
I mean,
like
I think Anthony, as you said, Anthony signaled. I don't blame him, right? He has barely gotten any minutes. The few minutes that he saw, he wanted to play. So when they tried to bring him off, or when he was first injured, he signaled saying, "I'm fine." I think he would have played if he could. If it was possible, I think he would have played through the pain or whatever if he could. But I think the Amad thing raises an interesting question, right? I know for the people in the comments and for many United fans, Erik Ten Hag is a complete idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. If you believe that, all well and good. But if you're willing to countenance that maybe there's more to the world than a simple analysis of how things work, right? I think early on in the season with Amad, people were talking about how maybe he lacks that killer instinct or something, that there is a certain edge, like a certain mentality that you see in Garnacho, a certain chest out attitude that you see in some other players that you don't quite see in Amad yet. I don't know if I want to hear from the panel if you guys think there's anything to that, right? As to maybe Amad is maybe shrinking under the pressure. It's possible that again, if you think that Hag doesn't know what he's doing and he's just picking favorites or whatever, you're fine to believe that. But if there's space for, I think, a more interesting conversation, I'm curious to hear what guys think.
Yeah. I would say.
And can I just ask?
Yeah.
The positives.
Onana had 2 fantastic saves.
Okay.
So Onana was
Double
I don't
save,
know.
yeah, I
It
heard about
was
the double
De
save, yeah.
Gea-esque, his reaction on I don't know what happened, but
I've already had people saying to me, sending me DMs saying, "Shut you up again." Onana's shutting you up. I'm happy. I'm happy if he keeps. I want him to perform that way.
Yeah.
Yes, it was like that. Save Erik Ten Hag's bacon, but apparently he made a fantastic double save. But big up to our brother Augustino. Augustino, I'm still waiting for the invite, bro. Lindelof is a guy so tall, so big. It's weird how timid he is. He gets pushed off the ball and bullied too easily, for my liking. Very strange, yeah. Very strange. That's Linda, Linda Soft. That's what they call him, isn't it? So So honestly, we had one of the best things that calendar for our work, for my workplace, and it was very important, and it went really well, and it was beautiful. So
nice.
Yeah.
And I just want to add, when Anthony was injured, Amad came on. I think it was the 89th minute or something, and you could see right away in his first touch that he's a fantastic footballer. So why he didn't play today, I don't know. But Amad.
But I want to hear more now, right? Like, Jarvis, I'm curious about that because again, like I'm saying, maybe Ten Hag said, he wants to reward Anthony. Anthony looks sharp in training. He's working hard. It's a big squad, right? In an ideal world, we're able to plug and play. We're able to rotate, give somebody else a chance, or whatever. The playing Mazraoui in 10 over Amad, I think maybe lots of people are up in arms about that. But like, why do you think Amad hasn't been playing? Because not just this game. I think 2 games prior to this now, for a couple of games now, Amad hasn't been playing. Why do you guys think that's happening?
He's not sticking to the plan.
He does not like it.
Doesn't like him not sticking to the plan. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it.
But listen, Jarvis, honestly, even in the times when we watch tonight, you look a bit deflated. I'm not going to lie to you. You look a bit cold. When you tell me as a tactical, when you tell me Mazraoui as a fucking
it's outrageous. You can't make it up. It feels like it's a nightmare. How you can make a decision like that? It's terrible. I was thinking for myself, maybe, but then you have to drop down and be involved with the play like a pawn in a chess game, not utilized in a way, just dragging on opposition and move on because he can run a lot and he knows about movement. Masraoui is excellent in his positioning.
His rhythm positionally.
He didn't
The
use
rhythm
him like that. Masraoui was just running around like a headless chicken all around
like
the front
Bruno would,
area.
You see, I'm not gonna lie to
as
you.
bad as Bruno.
Swear,
Listen, there were
you
no
can tell
aim.
me a conspiracy theory if you want. He did not want to put Eriksen there because Eriksen could have performed. He did not want to put Amad there because Amad would have performed. And then some people would have been like, if they perform, then Bruno coming back, people would have been like, we want to see what we saw from that player. He puts fucking Mazraoui there to act like Bruno, run around like a headless chicken.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's not even Bruno. Maybe it's Ten Hag's fucking tactics that are making Bruno run like a headless chicken.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe you're onto something. You're onto something already.
No, I would have wanted Jarvis what Jarvis initially wanted to go with. I would have actually wanted what Jarvis initially wanted, with Ogarde actually playing there. Masking as a 10 actually. He's good at pressing. You could see that he was actually pressing out well in terms of the final third. But and he has discipline in terms in the midfield as well. When you look at Mazraoui, he was just all over the place. He does not really, could tell that he does not know where he needed to be. It was just like the midfield was just concussed. If you think about it, like everyone was just all over the place. And, it's just unfortunate, but it is what it is. When I saw that, I just gave up. I essentially gave up on the game, in all honesty.
So what a game to miss. You know me, I would have been absolutely fuming to see Mazraoui doing the headless chicken settings. Because actually he used to play as a winger. He's good on the ball. He's quite press resistant. But if he's running around like a headless chicken, I would have been going crazy. And there was an opportunity to really put Amad to play even Rashford. Did Rashford travel?
Yeah, he
Rashford played, man. He played decently today.
Yeah, he was good.
Okay. I mean,
he was good.
The way we're talking about the game is funny. When in the first half, when we scored 1-0, to me, we seemed pretty comfortable. In terms of possession, maybe we still lack that killer instinct that everyone is complaining about, right? But we looked really comfortable. And Lindelof was soft for the goal. I would put him. I would put the goal on him in terms of carelessness and everything. But Lindelof was soft. I know, unfortunately for Ten Hag, right? He's not allowed to do anything other than win. Because I don't think he's the first manager to get creative with positions like that. I think away at Fenerbahce, I can understand why, given the fixture list, given the fact that we're playing the game this weekend, he might want to have more legs in the midfield. And I know it would have been nice if we dominated the game. It was flowery, 4-0. It was just wonderful. But I think the way the game was going, we could have taken the 1-0 victory or 2-1. And Ian, I just want to reiterate. I compared this United. I'm comparing us now to how we were last week, to how we were 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, stuff like that, right? And from my perspective, from where I'm sitting, like the improvement in terms of how. So you were asking about positives, right, Nuruddin? I think the amount of game time and what I'm seeing from Delete, I like. I think Martinez is finding some form again. So Martinez had like a period where he looked shaky. I think Martinez looks like himself, again. I was glad to see Ugarte get minutes, and he's getting to the Ugarte that we think we signed. Making tackles, putting in blocks, still a bit shaky on the ball, but at least he looks like he's integrated into the team. Christian Eriksen looks like the best player basically in the squad, which is which I think is another whole subject of conversation, because I wish we had another Eriksen or a version of Eriksen, that was 5 years younger. So Eriksen looks like he's in form. Højlund looks sharp. Rashford looks sharp. Garnacho was Garnacho. So, in terms of things I think to take away from this game, since it was boring, quote unquote, I think those are all the things that, anybody who's interested in seeing United win can focus on. Yeah,
big up, Sean. Let me just get these super chats. Big up to everybody in the chat. There's nearly 200 of you. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. The channel is fighting against being shadow banned. Big up Elite Ball. Elite Ball, if you want to jump on, let me know. Send me a message on Twitter and I'll send you the link. No problem. Big up Adewale. Not seen you in here for a while, King. I hope you're good. Good. God will punish Erik Ten Hag for this treatment of my man. He's doing the same thing he did to Sancho. Only difference, Sancho didn't take that shit. Anyone backing himself does not want what's best for United. Boy, oh boy. Well, play Masraoui there when you got Amad on the bench.
I want to clarify for everybody at Delika and everybody else here. I'm the reason why we're doing badly. I personally, I'm to blame for all United's, problems. So just direct.
Direct you. You've got remote control to Eriksen hand.
I'm the reason why. So just direct all your anger and frustration at me. Hopefully that makes you feel better.
Sean, they just like mentioning your name. They like the name Sean. Aduale says Rashford was not good. Stop gaslighting. They missed an open goal. Garnacho was even worse. Honorable player. Don't care about the age. You should be alone or developing. Yeah, you know what? I think it gets a bit overhyped, but then I see the fact that there's no developmental plan. I don't see it. I don't see the coaching. I don't see the little tangible improvements that needed to be had. I did see Rashford defend better. I'm not going to lie. That's the best I've seen Rashford defend the other day against Brentford.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Yeah. But listen, people, big up. But Jose is fucking taking the piss. Look what he's saying. Jose's like, it's like, United saved them. My goalkeeper. One thing about Jose is the shithousery. But why are you giving him the opportunity to chat shit like this? Because I think the best thing I have to do when I leave Fenerbahce is go to a club that doesn't play in Europe. So if any club in England at the bottom of the table needs a manager,
I mean, he's been pretty transparent about the fact that he wants to move. He wants to come to England. I think even before the game, he's signaling basically, and which is wild for if you're a Fenerbahce fan, if you're a Fenerbahce player. I wonder how you feel. Although today, based on how the Fenerbahce players play today, it looks like they all love Mourinho. Like they were all willing to, run the extra mile and put in a lot of work basically for him. So Mourinho is box office. Would love to have him back in the Premier League. Honestly, even though just for the entertainment factor.
Yeah, for the memes, just in case for the memes. Big up Augustino. Augustino, listen. I'm not going to lie to you. I think I've got my little conspiracy theory. If he would have played Eriksen tonight, Eriksen played well, United fans would have been jumping to bits. I'm telling you right now, people, the fans in the stadium, Bruno gives the ball away. The moans and groans are loud as the cheers. So I'm telling you, if you would have played Eriksen, like you just said, would have played Casemiro next to Ugarte and then Eriksen as a number 10, maybe something would have happened, but we didn't want to do that.
How about the possibility that because Eriksen is our best midfielder, we need him deeper in the pitch? Like we need him actually involved in the play instead of trying to get that
I personally do think Eriksen is that type of number 10 that he would drop in anyway. He would drop into those spaces to pick up the ball and to start creating. But yeah, he's on good goal scoring form at the moment, though. Eriksen,
he looks great. He's the person who makes our football tick.
So look at that's what he's saying. He's trying to justify it. He says, "No, Masraoui as a number 10 away from home in Europa. Hectic ambience to start with 4 attackers is too much." What do you mean by that? So play extra midfielder then. So was he what? Did he want a defensive number 10, Jarvis? I want to ask you, Jarvis. Was he a defensive?
Nuruddin, let me break it down for you. Okay, we remember, good managers sometimes play players out of position and make it work. Ferguson did it. I remember he played Fletcher and Carrick as centre backs. He used John O'Shea as a striker or goalkeeper or whatever. So we had players in different roles. But I believe Ferguson took his time, explained to the player what he expected from him, coached him into the role and made it simple. I'm not sure if Ten Hag talked with Masraoui and told him what he expected from him playing in the number 10.
Come on, Jarvis.
Yeah, because it didn't look like he had any instructions. And I know Masraoui is very strong positionally, but he looked totally off. He didn't know what to do. And that's a problem for me. I'm not saying I'm Ten Hag out, but I'm asking a question that need to be asked.
To me, he looked
Do you
off on
think
the
Ten
ball.
Hag gave Masraoui instructions how to play in that role and what he expected from him before the game?
Yes, yes, and I think that's in the answer that Nuridi just read, right? Mazraoui looked off on the ball, which you kind of expect from a defender playing in midfield. So his passes were under hit. Sometimes, he wasn't able to control the ball properly and everything. But positionally, I think he contributed to what looked like a stable, stable team performance off the ball, and I think that was what he was there for. I think Ten Hag was very conscious of the occasion and everything surrounding the match and the fact that we're away. I think if Bruno was available, Bruno would have played in that number 10 position instead of Mazraoui. I don't want us to put it all. I'm interested in having a conversation about even this guy, Zirkzee. Because I think is where Rashford was last season in the sense that there's some players in this squad that need confidence. I think the difference between Rashford now and Rashford previously is he's confident. So he's brave enough now to take on 1, 2, 3. He had this run where he dribbled through a couple of players and got into the box. But yeah, I think with regards to the Mazraoui thing specifically, I think it was Ten Hag maybe trying to be so clever by half, and it didn't work out. But I think there was clearly Mazraoui was put there to give us some kind of stability, away from home, keep us play it safe, keep us secure, and then between Eriksen, Rashford, Garnacho, and Zirkzee, they should have been able to, and Diallo pushing up as well. They should have been able, because it was kind of lopsided, right? It looked like we were playing 3 at the back with Martinez, Delete, and Lindelof, and Diallo was super high up on the right flank. Eriksen was ahead of Mazraoui as well. So, I think Ten Hag clearly had something, and it just didn't work out. But I think he definitely gave him instructions.
Well, I don't think so, because you could see it, especially in the press play. Because when we play a 4-4-2. We try to play more compact. We have did it in the last 3 games, and we play with the 2 up front, and they work together when they press. Today, I couldn't quite see our shape. I didn't know if we were pressing in a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2. We did a hybrid of it. We looked totally out of shape, so our structure was wrong, and that's a clear instruction from the coach how to press, because it shouldn't be that difficult. If you play with the 2 strikers, you should be able to move as a unit and press as a unit, pump press, one up, one a little bit in behind, choose a side, try to lock the opposition on one part of the pitch. We didn't. It was very bad press play, and our midfield didn't look like a line. It was up and down. Garnacho a little bit higher, Diallo a little bit lower. So our structure was terrible today, I would say, defensively. And this is one of the positive things I've been talking about the last 2 to 3 games. Our defensive structure is much better. Our press play, our mid block, not high press, but our mid block is better. But today was terrible. And when we played out from the back, we didn't have any plan, because no one dropped down to be the extra man. So we had no outs when they marked us man to man. We were out of options. So we had to just hoof the ball up and receive it straight into our face again. And that's a problem, because I think that's an instructional problem, because it would be easy for Ten Hag to shout to Masraoui, drop down, receive the ball. But we made it into the 60th minute before he did anything. And that's a big problem.
Jarvis, how much stock do you put in the fact that, at least from the way I was seeing it, and maybe you can jump in as well, from what I saw, I think there was a huge difference in the fact that the Fenerbahce players were first to every second ball, right? So like I said, first half we seemed pretty comfortable. We scored, the game was okay. They equalized, came out second half, were pretty on top of us for the first 10 to 15 minutes, and we kind of took control. Basically, of the second half.
Sean, I don't agree. We didn't look comfortable. That's the thing. But we played against Mourinho, and he didn't go all out. He played in balance.
Right.
But when they tried, they had big chances. Ugarte basically saved a goal with his sliding tackle. The Fenerbahce guy, he didn't even know Ugarte was there. He was 100% sure that he was going to score. The goal was open.
Right.
That was one big chance. And we had a double chance with Onana. So every time they tried, they created a chance.
So, but like,
we didn't look
I would
comfortable at all.
expect that. I would expect that at home at Fenerbahce, they would have some chances, right? I would price that in already. And the reason why we have Onana, the reason why we have Ogate, the reason why we have our defenders is to be there to put a last stage tackle if necessary. That's their job, right? So I wouldn't judge how we played based on the fact that they had chances. That's normal and to be
Yeah, but
expected.
I'm reacting to your statement.
Yeah, no,
that
yeah.
we looked in control.
1
We
second,
didn't look in
Jarvis.
control.
Just one second, Sean. Big up Ben. Ben, if you want to jump on, you got time, you're happy to jump on. Elite Baller, let me know if you want to jump on as well. Send me a message on Twitter. Big up to everybody watching. It's over 200 of you. Please, let's get another 100 likes. Ben says, when we try to play from the back, no one drops to help Onana. It's fucking frustrating me. That's down to Eriksen. Our possession is awful. Big up on Free Palestine. Yeah, big up indeed. Big up to everybody who's tuned in. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I think we're 10 away or 15 away from 600, 11,600. So for a channel that's shadow banned, we're doing amazing. Please help us fight against the algorithm and fight us against the machine. That is bloody YouTube, because we shout against the genocide and we shout for humanity. That is what we're guilty of. We're happy to be guilty of that. So please let other people know about this community. Big up to everybody. Like I said, don't make it personal. People agree or disagree with a person's point of view. The debate the point of view, not the person. But honestly, this is the most I've seen energy-wise after a game. Jarvis. Honestly, Jarvis is devils. I'm not going to lie to you. The body language of Jarvis is devil. And you know what, Jarvis? I swear to you, if I saw Masraoui as number 10, I would have jumped out of a window, I think I would have just lost it. But I would have smashed the television. I would have smashed the television up. I mean, what the F is going on? Yeah, maybe in the last 10 minutes, if you haven't got many players on the bench, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe try something in the last 10 minutes if you're chasing the game, if you try to win. You know?
But no, imagine if you're Amad.
That is taking the
training week out, week in, doing well in the preseason, doing well in the beginning of the season, scoring goals, being a vital part of our attack, and you get dropped against a Turkish team, and they play Masraoui in the 10. You know how can he get any confidence? You know, he must feel as the last player Ten Hag wants to play. He put on Anthony first, and Anthony, all he achieved was getting injured and getting off the pitch, and came on the pitch again and lay down and used 5 minutes when we needed a goal. It's a comedy. It's a farce.
That is quite damning. Honestly, that is really damning from Jarvis.
Ahmad.
Yeah, and that's quite damning what Jarvis is pointing out tonight. So first of all, it looks like I've missed a fucking blinder. Absolute fabulous game. Yeah. No, I've actually like I've missed the worst game, the worst tactics, the worst game. So thank God for my workplace. Thank God I was with amazing people, celebrating and enjoying. So yeah, big up to everybody. Anuale says the way Shaw talks
makes me believe he was
going up, not Manchester United. Low standards and toxic positivity. 100%.
It's my fault. I'm the one responsible.
No, Sean is the German and the CEO of Toxic Sexual FC. He is the absolute
not just that. I have a direct line to Sir Jim, right? I'm the one who told Sir Jim to keep Ten Hag. And your high standards, right? Adewale and everybody with their high standards. Tell me where
I'm telling you, we need to listen. I'm telling you, we need to get the camera to look out of that window. Sir Jim's kids.
Sir Jim, nice. He's there in the bushes, basically. Yeah.
Sir Jim must be in the naval. Are you secretly working for Sir Jim? Are you an in-house employee, Sean?
No, that's what I'm saying. I am not just an innocent employee. I'm the chairman of the board, basically, and I'm the one who is single-handedly keeping Ten Hag in his job. You know, I mean, with regard to the Amad thing, right? I think I kind of agree to an extent that Amad must feel bad. I just hope that Amad has more character than Sancho, for example. I just hope that Amad has more respect for himself, more character, more personality, more determination, basically. than many of the United fans would have him, have, and hopefully he's able to find himself. Because, like I said early on, even when he was playing, that was the talking point that came up that okay, maybe Amad needs to, because I mean that killer edge. It looks like Garnacho knows he's meant to be here, and he plays and he walks around like he's home. And I think maybe Amad, I like him as a player and everything. I just really hope that he has good people around him, because the worst thing that can happen to Amad right now is for him to be listening to people who are telling him, well, the manager hates you. Yeah, no, just, Ten Hag really hates you. He just doesn't want to use you or stuff like that. That's how you end up like Sancho getting hooked up at halftime, because you're playing rubbish, basically. But yeah, no, I really hope Amad is able to find some drive and personality and motivation, because I think that's what he needs instead of wallowing in whatever self-pity he must be feeling right now.
I actually surprisingly agree with you, Sean. That's the first day.
Wow.
I actually agree. I think
maybe it's a gym is actually out here.
I think a player, I agree with you totally. Player cannot listen to the outside noise about him trying to feel. I think he needs to just work harder and actually think to the coach, I'm gonna effing show you. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to drop me. But people, please, we need 90 more likes. Please start hitting the likes. It really helps the channel. More people see because we're fighting against the algorithm that's tried to suppress us, that's tried to basically ban us, not to be seen, because we talk about the humanity of the Palestinians who are getting genocided. And unfortunately, we live in a country and we are in a platform like Google and YouTube who are basically pro-genocide, and they are. It's simple as that. I can't even post anything. I got 2 posts deleted on Insta the other day, just disappeared. I'm like, what the hell is going on? To be fair, the only place really where you can post about Palestine is on X. But big up to everybody. I've got a question for you, since you're the Ineos representative. Our man inside the Ineos, Sean. I'm going to ask you a question, so bear with me. Big up Adewale says it's not about respect for himself. The manager is picking favourite. He doesn't deserve to respect after disrespecting Amad. Respect goes both ways. So 100%. Humans respect.
Yeah, Adewale, you're exactly the person that Amad needs to not listen to. That's exactly the wrong advice that Amad needs to be hearing.
No, respect goes both ways. Regardless, as human beings are human beings. You know what I mean? Respect goes both ways. Yeah, respect goes both ways. And I think that's the only thing Adewale say. But since you're the representative on this channel from Ineos, I think, can you please clarify or deny Sofian Amrabat's claim? Sophie Amrabat says why he left Manchester United. The only thing I want to say is that you have to ask Mr. Wilcox. Can you please clarify?
I mean,
what's happening here?
The way I understand it, that's Jason Wilcox doing his job. I don't feel any special attachments to Amrabat. I don't feel like so. If Wilcox decided that we didn't need him or surplus to requirements, good luck to Amrabat. Like, I'm happy for him. I like him as a player. So I don't really feel like strongly about it. I think that's what we want Wilcox to do now, right? And all the management staff go out into the market, get value for money, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Did he contact me on Twitter? Let me just double check. Elite Baller, are you not on Twitter anymore? Did he contact me on?
I can send him the link, Nore.
Yeah. Big up. Yeah, big up, people. Listen, please, let's get to 200 likes at least. My only issue with Erik ten Hag is his selective politicking. Yeah. Sean would be the employee of the month every month. I'm telling you, he is. He probably is. Sean works hard. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I take time off to talk to you guys, but I work out, and I firmly believe that, the first person you have to look at is yourself, for anything. The dynamic, I think, is different in sports, in football. I understand how, because there's no, I think, outside of scoring goals or countable assists, I don't think there's really any objective metric you can use to say this one person should be played over another like that. So if Garnacho is scoring goals and giving assists, Rashford is scoring goals and giving assists, on what basis should Amad play other than you like him? Right. So, like I said, I wish Amad the best. I hope he gets to play, but I don't think we need to inject narratives or necessary narratives, discord into the squad. It's a team. Everybody will get their chance, I think, to play or to show themselves. And it looks to me like if you come into the squad and you play well, you stay. We've seen it many times. Many players who fought their way into contention. I mean, Maguire is the ultimate example, right? For anybody who says anything like, oh, it goes both ways, Maguire is the ultimate example of somebody who stood up to be counted and showed himself basically and proved, what he was. So I want Amad to be the kind of player who, is a world beater and a superstar. And to be that type of player, you need to have personality. You need to have a very strong character. You need to be able to go through times like this. So Amad Diallo, if you're listening, I hope you have level-headed people around you. Don't listen to Adewale. Don't listen to any of these people who are trying to get you to wallow in self-pity. Pick up your ball tomorrow and keep working hard. That's all you can do.
Yeah, you know what? I agree to a certain extent, but it's also a respect thing, innit? Why are you playing a fucking fullback at number 10 when I'm on the fucking bench? You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell is going on here? Where's the progression for some of these young players? Where is it challenging these young players? Where is it? Big up Elite Baller. Welcome. Listen, we need 74 more likes, people. 75 more likes. Let's go, people. Let's go. URT. Who are we? We've got to fucking at least make each other laugh. I mean, Nasrawi as fucking number 10. That's the manager taking the piss out of the fans who fucking travelled. The ones who travelled, who paid good money to go with the team, to pay. Really, two of my friends have gone to the game tonight. They've paid. I'm telling you, they both paid for the whole trip there and back and everything with a flight. They paid 800 quid each. 800 pounds each. It's madness.
Yeah.
So I've told them they should stay a bit more, a couple of more days, at least to come back on the Sunday, you know what I mean, on a Monday. Enjoy a bit of Istanbul. But yeah, how did you see the game, Elite Baller? Talk to us, King.
First of all, big up everyone, big up the panel, big up the chat. Make sure you're smashing the like. I'm just disappointed because at one point I thought we were playing quite well. I thought we had total domination of the game. I think they had maybe 5 minutes where they were quite scary in the first half, but after that we took control. We should have really kicked on after that beautiful goal by Eriksen, got another goal at least. If Rashford's attempt goes in, could have been a different game. I'm not going to slander him because he did well to get to that position, took it past a few players, narrowly missed the target. But just first of all, the lineup is just crazy and it's just happening every week. No one can ever predict the lineup by Ten Hag, no one, because he just changes it every week. And how are we ever going to be consistent when we don't know what the team is and the players can't get rapport, understanding? You know what I'm saying? You're never going to have like a Andy Cole and Dwight York moment because there's no relationships between the players because every week is changing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. And the fact that he chooses to put a right back as an attacking midfielder is just crazy when you've got Eriksen who can do that and you've even got Zirkzee who can do that. So why would you even bother doing that? And he picks the wrong lineup. And then because it messes up, he then has to pick the right lineup by putting on Casemiro, by putting on Højlund. Why is he dropping Højlund, who played really well last game? Why is he doing that? Casemiro played well. Why is he dropping Casemiro? It's like, if you play well in this team, you get punished by being taken out of the team. And it just seems like self-sabotage. Otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense to me, guys. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah. Big up Elite Baller.
I mean,
Make sure you check out Elite Baller's channel. Big up Adewale. He says, thanks for the super chat, bro. He says, Amad was man of the match against Southampton. Yeah. To me, yeah, he was. Barely got a minute after that. Let's stop this rubbish. Eric Ten Hag disrespected him. Never let anyone disrespect you in life. You know your worth and you won't ever go anywhere. There you go.
Yeah. That sounds really cool.
We have another super chat also where we should go a little bit further.
Sancho didn't allow the respect and played in the Champions League final. Now he's in a better team and Chelsea starting weekly. Don't allow the respect to take it from someone who's had success in life. Yeah. No. I to me, it's clear. That's why you got Bruno, the captain of Manchester United. If you want us to believe that Sancho was so toxic and Sancho was so bad, why have you got the captain of Manchester United, Bruno, going on Instagram as soon as he made his debut for Chelsea and he made an assist and congratulating him and stuff? I just don't get it. Like, for me,
I personally don't like Bruno doing that. I don't like this Bruno, Nelson Mandela Bruno that we're getting, where he's in love with all the opposition players and is congratulating everybody. I need our captain to be a bit more aggressive, and a bit more close ranks. Like, I don't need you congratulating all the, like, why are you telling Sancho? Why are you wishing him all the best, right? Even if he's your friend, send him a private text, send him a message, give him a call at home. I don't be wishing our opponents the best. I thought that was weak from Bruno. With regards to Sancho, I think the jury is still out. I don't understand why we're pointing to anything right now, evidence that clearly he's succeeding somewhere else. And then, with regards to Højlund and the players that he dropped, we just played the game. Højlund just came back from injury recently. One major complaint that many United fans have had is that Ten Hag was overplaying some players. So, I mean, why we have two strikers? We signed somebody else, right? Even though Zirkzee is not getting out of form, we want Zirkzee to succeed, right? So we want to give him game time. And it makes sense to me that Højlund is going to start against West Ham this weekend. So he's the other striker that we have. Like, it seems like, like a fairly normal or being a decision that Ten Hag took today.
Norodin, I think you missed the super chat from Mumsy TV. Did you read it out, this one?
Big up Mopsy. Mopsy said to get top 8 in Europa will be hard now. Rather lose every game than do playoffs in February. We can't win the Europa League games and people want top 4. Yeah. It's not happening. It's not happening. Yeah, it's not happening. It's crazy.
There were many seasons where we did rubbish in Europe and still did well in the league. And there's no correlation.
The thing about Sancho and the thing about Amad, I think this is the bit. Big up Leo Sani says, different standards for different players. Erik ten Hag is a joke manager. Yeah, that's the thing, is that when managers are not consistent in the way they treat equally the players, and that's where the discontent, I think, happens. Because I think big managers can know how to manage. And for me, like, I go again, same thing. I think he was reminding us, big up to Shekarian Rashid. I think, did I like the bit? But basically, he pointed out the fact that Shekarian, here it is, yeah, big up. He was pointing out the fact that Benny McCarthy, one of the things that we did a video actually and we explored it here, is that the players don't feel connected to Ten Hag. So in the idea of like getting across, in football is super tribal. The fans are tribal. Players have to be very tribal. The reason why Fergie had that level of dominance and all of that time, Fergie understood Manchester United as a giant, sleeping giant, woke it up again and said, listen, everybody's against us. The press are against us. The media is against us. Everybody's against us, all of the teams, and had that siege mentality where the players would literally put themselves on the line. And Roy Keane talks about it in many videos, that we went out there to say, when you all did it. So this is the bit that Erik ten Hag's missing. So when Jarvis tonight critiques Masraoui's positioning and says Masraoui did not look like somebody who went out on the football pitch that had literally been given the game plan. Here's what Shekarian says, that Ten Hag isn't Ferguson and will never be. Benny McCarthy exposed him and said he isn't inspired enough to the place. And that's one of the greatest strengths of Fergie, was inspiring players. But yeah, big up. But go ahead, Jarvis. What do you think to that? I made a lot about that because for me, the words wasn't inspiring. Benny McCarthy said, footballers are different now. You have to take them with you on the journey. They have to be on the journey. And Erik ten Hag doesn't do that. And he said Erik ten Hag's a fantastic coach. He laid down the things. But to me, if the connection is not there for you to go, you know what I mean? Anybody can give you the... If he can't go there, and Benny McCarthy was a footballer, so he recognizes it. It's a generational difference. Maybe these young players need to be modeled in a different way because society has changed. Times have changed. Time never sits still. Things change.
No, it's not just that. Ten Hag has poor communication skills. Even with journalists, right? He doesn't have charisma. Like he's not the kind of person that can walk into a room and then charm everybody in the room, right? If you ask him questions about technical stuff, I think he's very good there. But like in terms of personality, I think that's where he's lacking. I don't know if that's something you can train or develop over time. But I think definitely he's lacking in that charm, charisma aspect of things. And obviously, like it's hurting us.
Yeah, we are talking about charisma and stuff. What's charisma? It's a difficult thing to say, but for me, I think respect comes with the competence. You have to show competence. If you have great competence, you get respect. And we're not succeeding with the results. We're not succeeding with how he picks his lineups, his tactics. He gets his tactics wrong too often, so the players are in doubt. So there's many things. So and the problem with me is, why didn't he use this chance to build a momentum? Because we won against Brentford. We played actually quite good. We stick to the plan. We played good tactical football. And I would say we did really well against Brentford. Why couldn't we replicate the patterns, the press, the structure, the build-up, the game plan? Why did he try to be clever? For me, that's kind of baffling. And someone is mentioning that he I don't know, that he's trying to it's like he doesn't want to succeed in a way.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be that hard to replicate what we did against Brentford, because this team we played against today wasn't better than Brentford. It was a bad team. They don't have much quality. They have Saint-Maximin. He's a dribbler. He gave us a little bit of problems. There's not much there. The tempo is bad. They have two washed up midfielders in Amrabat and Fred. We should have won this game. But we couldn't even do the basics right. So this is a big problem for me. And Ten Hag should have seen it right away. Okay, it's like we play with 10 men with Zirkzee on the pitch, because it doesn't work. He's not working. It doesn't work with Mazraoui. We should change it up right away. Put Eriksen in the 10, Mazraoui back on fullback, Licha in a centre back, take off Lindelof, do something. But it takes him 60 minutes. And I just want to point this out to Elite Baller, because you said that we were in control and we played good. If you look at the momentum of the game, you guys can see this. Blue is Fenerbahce, red is Man United. This is the first half. So you see here, Fenerbahce has the momentum almost all the game. And they scored a goal, kept the momentum. In this 58 minute, we subbed off Zirkzee and changed it up and went back into balance, because we played with a balanced team. We had the Mazraoui at fullback. We had the Eriksen as number 10, Casemiro in the midfield. Suddenly we looked good again, because we were in the balance. We looked like a football team. And then we had the Anthony injury and the Mourinho red card, so the game just fizzled out. But again, it's a big problem when it takes 60 minutes before the manager sees what's wrong with the team.
Mourinho did.
Mourinho got the red card. Yeah,
he got a red card. Yeah. He was stressed. Like he was. I mean, it was a tough game, right, Jarvis? And I think I don't know if you're being completely fair to Ten Hag, right? Given the context,
I'm just talking about the momentum, George. The fact is there. You see the momentum of the game,
right? And then, but I think that's a misleading picture. It doesn't tell the complete story, right? It tells, if you want to prosecute to a specific point, right, that the game weren't in control or whatever. Right, sure. This chart, I think, addresses that point. But I don't think you need momentum to be in control of the game. I think you can be comfortable defending, conceding possession to your opponent, which is what it looked like to me, and I think to Elite Baller in the first half, right? That even though we weren't completely in control of possession and everything, Fenerbahce didn't look like they had much to offer, right? We were successfully winning tackles, we were putting in clearances. When we needed to attack, were able to string, counter attacks together, and our players had a couple of chances. We had, I think, a similar amount of shots on target as them, and more shots off target.
But I think you missed my point, Sean, because my point is Ten Hag stands at the sideline and watches the game, and we see that clearly that Fenerbahce has the momentum, and we are not in balance as a football team. It shouldn't take 60 minutes before you do anything to fix it, and it's almost like in coincidence that he fixes it because Lindelof gets injured and he has to change everything up.
Okay, on that specific issue, I agree with you. He takes too long to make subs.
So he needs to react. He needs to see the game with his own eyes and react. I sat there like, my God, why aren't you doing anything? This isn't working. It's obviously not working. Masraoui in the 10, Zirkzee in the 9. It's not working. Everything is wrong. The balance is wrong with this team. We can't play football. We don't have the right movement. We don't have the right structure. It's so clearly, it's not personal faults. It's not about the individuals because they are in the wrong position on the pitch. They don't know what to do. And that's a big problem. So Ten Hag, I don't know what happened. Yeah.
That's what I've been saying about the other games. He just stands there and he doesn't fucking change it. And in-game management is one of the most important things. Managers making mistakes because sometimes the other team, you work on the game plan all week, you then put it out there. The other team sometimes kind of like envisages that game plan and then puts their game plan and then they block you. Then you have to change it. But big up there, listen, David Mane says, thank God I'm going to have a weekend of stress-free match days. Taking my little boy to watch Arsenal versus Liverpool at the Emirates. He's a big Arsenal fan. Well, big up to you.
Sorry, David. That's not going to be a stress-free weekend because Arsenal is losing.
Big up to your little boy, man. I hope you both have an amazing time, and I hope that your little boy is laughing at the end. And I hope that Arsenal do win. Because I'm not having Liverpool win the fucking league, mate. Not with fans in the stadium. I'm not having it. Big up, Wale. He's saying, Shaw, one question. Whose keeper was making more saves?
The funniest thing about this question, right, is that I think it's emblematic of the general discourse around United that it's just confidently wrong because the Fenerbahce keeper did make more saves than Onana, right? But like people, I think, are just, they have whatever agenda, like, they want to make and it's just wrong. Thanks for the super chat, right? But you're wrong. The Fenerbahce keeper had more saves than Onana did. And I mean, people just need to, my suggestion, try and get better adjusted to what is going on. And I have been giving this like really a lot of thought because what's going on with United is just it's mind-numbing, right? When what's this guy's name? Ralf Rangnick was leaving. He said we needed open heart surgery. We all agreed. First summer, was it open heart surgery? No. Second summer, was it open heart surgery? No. This last summer, was there an open heart surgery? No. But we all agreed that an open heart surgery was needed for us to, get to where we needed. I think we're still in the middle of the open heart surgery, right? Where it's still going on right now. So that's kind of where I'm setting my own expectations. And the reason why I'm not as upset or as, angry as many people on the panel or in the comment. I think maybe just to take a chill pill. Let's laugh at Arsenal's demise this weekend. We will definitely find some joy.
Speaking of heart surgery, do you know who had heart surgery under 2 weeks ago? Our number 10.
And still played in number 10 ahead of Amad.
Yeah, ahead of Amad.
Yeah.
He's been training all the time.
Can't argue with that right now. Can't argue.
I just want to say big up to Jarvis, but big up to Ben. He says, I'm off to bed, panel. URT need some rest with this flu. Oh, damn, you got a flu, man. Sending you healing, universal healing energy. Big up the chat, big up the panel. Therapy Army, fuck Zionism, free Palestine, free Sudan. God bless you all.
Oh, man.
Listen, up the fucking Irish. That's what we say, Ben.
There are a lot of people, I think, that need to just, touch grass. The comment section, but this is hilarious, man.
Yo, listen, Sean, you know you like it. You know you like being playing the baddie here, the James Bond, evil baddie in the chat. That's what you love playing, innit? So,
$1 billion.
They just want you to start stroking your cat now in a minute. You know what I mean? That's all they want.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's actually
What
funny.
they're asking for, yeah. But big up to everybody, man. Honestly, I just want to go back to Lesso. Lesso, this is the most I've seen, honestly, down Jarvis. Jarvis tonight is speaking like me when I watch games because I'm like, why the fuck can you not see it, Eriksen? Especially when I go to the games, Jarvis, and you can clearly see it when you're in the stadium. I wish I can transport you into the stadium, Jarvis, so that you'd be right next to Ten Hag and just be thinking, is he seeing the same things as we're seeing on the fucking football pitch? And why is he not changing it? I mean, to me, you know, my friends, like I said, they paid 800 quid each, nearly £1,000 each just to go away, to go and watch Manchester United. And then I can only imagine two of them laughing their heads off, going, what the fuck is going on when they saw Masraoui as a number 10? But in terms of, like, obviously, from the argument that Ten Hag gave is that he couldn't afford to have 5 attacking players on the football pitch because he said the crowd and the ambience. He used the word ambience. I'm like, these are professional footballers who played in hostile away games before, you know, World Cups, World Cup qualifiers, you know, like domestic trophies, other European trophies. And the fact that you're saying, I can't play certain attacking players because I don't trust my players and I don't trust my own tactics to actually keep the ball out. Yeah, you can still have attacking players, but set them up in a way where they're all doing it off the ball. You're demanding a lot of them off the ball. So I don't know what the excuses that he's using. Some of it just sounds very basic, really very basic to me. What do you think of that? That's all.
Nah, man, summed it up perfectly. You know, and you could tell that I wasn't overreacting, you know, to what I've been seeing. And, you know, Jarvis saw it as well. It's pretty much clear, you know, what has been happening. And he, like the way he set up the team from the get-go, like I even told my sister that, you know, don't bet on us winning, you know, because she was betting apparently on the game, and I told her, do not do it. And that's exactly what happened.
That's the best
you know,
advice.
and then she won. And she won. And she won. And she won as a result. She took my advice. I told her at best we're getting a draw because it's the way we set up. You know, right from the bet. You know, what is I was trying to figure out what Masraoui is gonna do. You know, first and foremost. You know, our team was so imbalanced. It's not even funny. You saw even with the way we were playing, the way we approached the game all around, it was just, it just screamed being desperate in a way, you know, what we're trying to do. We were trying to play for a draw. We were trying to actually salvage a draw tonight. You know, it wasn't about us trying to get hold of the game and winning it. I don't think we really had control of the game that much. There were periods where, yes, where after we scored, I feel like just after we scored, we should have tried and scored again. We should have killed off the game. In that period where Fenerbahce actually, like slightly, I'd say they were not in that game as much. We created a couple of chances after that, but we didn't do anything with it, you know. And I knew during that period, if we don't score 2 goals or 3 goals, we're definitely getting a draw. And we pretty much, you know, the chance fell to Rashford, he missed it, and then the chance fell, you know, we were really not clinical as well, you know, at the same time. I think that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do a smash and grab and then try and defend it in the second half, because I knew Fenerbahce was going to come back again into the game and dominate it. That was quite obvious. And, you know, it's damning, you know, it's now 11 games played in Europe and 1 win. You know, guys, we're 21st in the Europa League, you know, in terms of points. So, you know, it's bad. It's bad. We're not. I don't think we're gonna make it out of. We're gonna win this competition. I think that's a write-off. It's safe to say at this point. You know, you can't be getting as 3 points out of 3 games and thinking that you're gonna, you know, go through. You know, it's very difficult. So looking forward, the substitutions as well took a long time to make the substitutions. while Fenerbahce were knocking on the door, that's when you were supposed to be reacting. You don't wait for teams to score and then you actually try and make something happen, or wait for someone to get injured before you make something happen. Those are the basics. That's what defines you as a manager. That's called game management, and he seems to lack it. And unfortunately, this is not a Man United it's not a Man United problem that he developed at Man United. Let's just put it like that. That's a problem he had at Ajax as well. If you speak to a lot of Ajax fans, they'll tell you that you guys need to be prepared because he doesn't really change. He doesn't make changes. You will scream your lungs out. No matter which way the game swings, he's known for not making changes very quickly. And that's a known fact. So
Stick to the plan.
that's what we do. Yeah, he sticks to whatever he has on there, and that's it. And you can't do that. As a manager, you have to be flexible, because if another manager counteracts whatever you're doing, then are you gonna sit there and say I'm sticking to a plan? No, you change things around, you adapt right there and there.
But let's Jarvis, Sean, Elite Baller, everybody in the chat. He was doing it to perfection in the first season. What's changed? What's happened?
No idea.
You know what?
The manager.
Elite Baller, he had actually in the first season, he had the record of bringing changes that has involvement in goals, whether setting up a goal or scoring a goal. Like, it was incredible. Like, he was changing it, bringing on closing games out. Remember, he used to use Fred to close out games. Remember when we to win Elite Baller. So what's happened? Like,
why don't you tell us what do you think happened, Jurgen? What do you think has happened since then? I'm curious to hear.
I mean, it's purely speculation, but I think he might have lost confidence in his method. And sometimes human beings do that. They doubt themselves.
Yeah.
But you remember what I'm talking about, though. I'm not the only one imagining it.
No, you're 1,000% correct, right? And I mean, I don't know if the conclusion it leads us to is one that you necessarily agree with, right? Because I agree with you. First season, very pragmatic, right? Very focused on results, adapted to the players that he had. Was very efficient in terms of making substitutions, got results. Second season, for whatever reason, he decided to start again from scratch. Brought in Mason Mount, got rid of David De Gea, brought in Onana, made changes to how we were set up, how we're going to play, all that stuff. And last season was a complete disaster. And this season is a continuation of it. So, yeah, I think it's definitely a loss of confidence that Ten Hag, I think at some point, I don't think he in his wildest dreams could have imagined how his tenure would have turned out at United. So definitely loss of confidence. But I think largely, you can say that maybe he should have stuck to the pragmatic approach. But I think to get where we need to be, or where we would like to be as a club, he made the right decision to tear it up and start from scratch. So whatever pain period we need to go through, let's go through the pain. But these players need to be drilled into playing the modern style of football. And maybe Ten Hag is preparing the squad for somebody else in the future. Maybe another manager will come and help us get to where we need to go. But I think he changed in second season because I think he wanted to actually play the style of play that he would like.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that we had 2 goalkeepers on the substitute bench? That's worrying.
Actually, I didn't.
That is worrying, guys.
Didn't the under-21s play yesterday?
Where's
So,
Collier? Why
think-
isn't Collier not given a chance ever, man?
I think it was because the under-18s and under-21s played yesterday, so maybe they wanted them to get more game time than traveling to Turkey and play 5 minutes or 1 minute. The only
I
reason
think Barbara raises an interesting question. Did we miss Bruno today? I don't think so, but maybe.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah, because we needed someone in the build-up play to drop down to receive the ball, so we could actually be in possession and be in control.
But today seems like a prime day for Bruno's Hollywood. Cameo. Today looks like a prime opportunity for Bruno to just do his, because the way the game works, like why I particularly like this game and why I think Eriksen was such an important player, because like he was the one that was making everything.
That Windy. Yes, you were right. You got the score right, Windy.
1-1.
To be fair, I did say it's either United. Yeah, I did say it might be a score draw as well. Because I know that Jose would do everything to try to shut the game down and make it really difficult for Manchester United. But yeah, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that number 10, Mazraoui, that is spitting on the face of the fans who've gone all the way down there. Honestly, that's what that is. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, there's no need for
it. We can laugh about it, but none of us spent fucking 800 quid.
None.
And to fucking, that's just, I honestly, I swear I would have smashed the TV up.
Yeah.
Thank God, it's the universe's way of me not smashing the TV up, man. Telling you guys.
Did you see Ten Hag's comments on Amad? This is out from Bistro Rimano, said Amad Diallo didn't play one single minute versus Villa and Brentford, subbed on tonight after Anthony's injury. Ten Hag says he's doing well. I must also reward the performance of Anthony in training.
Well, the biggest thing is that he didn't play against Brentford and he didn't play against Villa, but he also didn't play against the two big home games this season, and that was against Spurs and Liverpool. So he truly doesn't fancy it. I got it right. There's a video on Saeed TV and on this channel from last season, and I said he doesn't fancy Amad. He does not fancy Amad. The club does fancy Amad. Wilcox and these guys rate Amad, but Erik ten Hag does not rate Ten Hag. I've already foretold this story. I've said it, and I said that if he didn't get injured, he was gonna go. He was gonna be out. The fact that he got injured saved him. And then obviously Ineos come in and they like the look of him and they try to push him into the team and they try to get him to sign a new contract and everything else. But it's at the end of the day, it's worrying.
But do you think Ten Hag is playing favorites?
100%. 100%. Listen, I'll say it to you. He was one of our brightest sparks against Brighton, brightest spark against Southampton. Then he gets dropped for Liverpool. Then he gets dropped for Spurs. Then he gets completely dropped at Villa and Brentford. And then other people play. In a game where you said Rashford could have been sent off, Amad is not even coming on the pitch. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm glad that Anthony's back in a bit of favour. So I'm glad that maybe Anthony's doing. I have no reason not to believe Erik ten Hag when he's telling me that Anthony deserves. And I'm hoping that Anthony has kicked into force like what Sean was talking about and didn't start feeling sorry for him small, but actually thinking, you know what, I need to get in this team. I need to fight my way to get in the team. But then the stuff that he does tonight, Anthony's such a weirdo, Jarvis. I told you, he was trying backflips when we needed to get the ball off the pitch and losing the ball against Brighton, like 10, 15 yards from our own box. And then the goal that we conceded against Brighton, he jumps out of a 50-50. Tonight, you're telling me he gets injured, says to everybody, no, nobody's coming on, then goes off the pitch, gets back on, and then drops on the floor. I mean, what the F is going on here? Is this sabotage all around? From tonight's game, I'm not going to lie to you guys, all your analysis, especially Jarvis, Lesso, and Elite Baller, and to be fair, to a certain extent, Sean is quite honest about it was a tough game and all that. He marketed it up like Sean usually likes to market it up. It's not an easy game. It's a tough game. You know, but even I can tell by the tone of his voice that Manchester United didn't really pull up any trees. So is it all sabotage, FC? Is there somebody Erik ten Hag?
No, but what kind of improvements do we think we would have seen between Brentford and today? Or the game before Brentford and today, right?
Jarvis was quite excited by the patterns of play and the things that we did see, like Rashford coming in more inverted as a winger and maybe stroke number 10.
We saw that today.
More on the outside, like the defense and the midfield being a bit closer to each other, a bit more compactness, moving up as a team together. Actually, You know what I mean? Players making space, committing more players into the opposition's half. You know what I mean?
No,
Doing
but
that.
isn't it generally understood that Champions League football tactically is different? Like,
It's not
right?
Champions,
As
it's
far
a
as
shitty Europa League. It's a shitty
European football, sorry, football in Europe, whether Champions League or Europa, everybody kind of understands that tactically it requires a somewhat different approach to the Premier League, right?
But Sean, you're comparing an absolute, like the different standards in the leagues. Turkish leagues are like 15th level standard. It's almost like championship kind of standard, or even worse than championship, maybe League One. You know what I mean? If the Premier League, any of the top half play Turkish teams, yes, the atmosphere is especially away from home, it can be, but you should be able to beat them. You should be able to beat them. So, yeah, it's interesting. Let me see, bring Lesto back. Listen, I don't want to keep you guys too long, but let's see how many likes we're on the video. But people need to smash the like on the video. Elite Baller, like,
Yo,
what do you see? What do you see? Where do Manchester United go from here? And I want to ask you all, the rest of you, where do we see? Is it Jekyll and Hyde? Is it play good for one game, decent for one game, play for maybe 40 minutes, half an hour, 35 minutes in a game, and then go back to mediocre with manager literally playing against us? Because that's what it sounds like tonight. And then we turn up against West Ham and we win, and then everybody then gets on the high, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that kind of topsy-turvy. Is that what you see?
It's basically our form is similar to that of our captains, where we'll have one good game and then 4 really bad games. So what we need is consistency. But like I said to you earlier, we're never going to see that consistency unless he picks more or less the same team every game. Maybe rotates here and there, but it has to have a solid backbone of players who know they're going to play. And then we can start actually dominating games, not hanging on by the scruff of our necks, actually scoring more than one goal, you know, because, you know, under Sir Alex, we knew that we had to score more than one goal. Yeah, you have to go for that second goal. You can't rely on just closing the game out with one goal. We need to have more of a killer instinct, and I think that only comes with consistency. And I know what's going to happen. He's gonna change the team again against West Ham, and again it's going to be a tough game because it's away against West Ham. I don't think they're in Europe, so they'll be fresher than us. So again, it's going to be a test. And when you come up against these tests, you need to show and prove. And I don't have too much faith that we can do that. Especially after what happened today. You know, we can't hold on to a lead. So what happens if we do the same against West Ham? Can we hold on to a lead? Maybe not. So it is a bit worrying. And to be honest with you, it's scary. It's scary because none of us know if the manager is going to be here from one game to another. And that can't be good for anyone, let alone us, let alone the players, the fans. You know what I mean? It's a bad situation we're in. And the only way to get past it is by winning, and we can only win one game and then we lose or draw, win, lose or draw. It's just we're not consistent, guys, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're right. We had the chance to create some momentum, give ourselves a little bit of breather, taking away the pressure on the players. This was a game that we should have won. This Fenerbahce team, they are number 4 in the Turkish league. They lost against their biggest rival, Galatasaray. Mourinho is obviously trying to force his way out of there. He wants to come to the Premier League again, for sure. And if you look at the I don't know if you guys are aware how this Europa League is set up, but this is the remaining games we have this Europa League. We're playing Panathinaikos next. Then we have Bodø Glimt, my team from Northern Norway. We have Victoria Pilsen and Glasgow Rangers. And last we play against, I think it's Steaua Bucharesti, the Romanian team. Yeah. So they are all winnable games. On paper, this should be 5 wins. And if we win this, I don't know if you can see this or if it's too small, but this is the Europa League standings, and how this works is the top 8 teams go directly to the playoffs. and the teams in between 9th and 24th play an extra qualification round, and the team from 25 to 36 will be out of the tournament. So we should easily qualify for the next round, but we will most likely need to play one extra round because of this. We won't qualify top 8 because of we have already drawn 3 games, so this will be a little bit of problem. And when we go into the playoffs, we will be not ranked in the top poll. So we will play a team like Lazio, Spurs, Ajax, Athletic Bilbao, or something like that. So we will be tougher opposition. And we know when we come to January, February, when the playoff starts, we had already had the Christmas schedule. We will play a lot of games, and we will have a lot of injuries. So this is going to be tough. So we will probably need to make a choice if we want to put our money on Europa League or try to qualify in being top 4, because I don't think we can do both, as it seems. And now we have had a bad start, so we will have to play an extra round, 2 games more, going to the playoffs.
Jarvis, do you think we would have been in had more of a problem if this format hadn't changed to what it is now? Is this better for us, even though that we've not won a game? How would that have worked?
I think it's easier when you play home and away against one team. Play like a series. Now you play against random teams home and away, and I think it's kind of confusing. It's harder for the manager because we need a different game plan all the time, more teams to analyze, and it's a new format. I don't know if I like the new format either, and I don't like Europa League in the first place, and now they're doing this. We play a lot of games that not even interesting. I don't know how to pronounce some of the teams you're playing against. I don't know if you guys even can pronounce Bodø/Glimt. I know Nureddin can say Bodø/Glimt, but not many of you know where they are from. They're up on the North Pole where I am.
Yeah.
They don't even have grass. They play on AstroTurf, artificial grass. That's their home ground. They have 8,000 spectators watching them. So we are playing against them. That's Man United at the moment. I'm not trying to dash Bodø/Glimt. They are a great team, but and they will most likely beat us as we are playing now at the moment. So,
well, definitely, if you start playing Masraoui as a number 10, Glimt, mate, they'll be licking their lips, mate, going, thank you, Erik ten Hag. You know what I mean? This is a team that's beat Roma 6-1. Like, they're no fucking joke, man. And they're incredibly coached. That's why, Jarvis, I tell you, like, they've got proper players, man. To play in and fucking near the Northern Pole, you have to be made of fucking tough stuff, mate.
Yeah.
To handle that fucking cold, you need to flip and be strong mentally, man, so you don't freeze. So definitely, I'm looking forward to that game. I wish Jarvis was here so we could go to that game and watch it together. But yeah, Jarvis, maybe you should just take the flight, man. How many hours from there to come here to watch the game?
Almost a 4-hour flight, but it's doable.
Get you a ticket when you come, Jarvis. Get you a ticket when you come.
Yeah, I will try to. I will see if you can get me a ticket. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We'll sort that out.
Nice.
We'll sort that out. You just get here. We'll sort that.
Will I be with the away fans or with the Man United?
No. Fuck. Oh wait, you're a United fan, mate. You're a United fan.
Yeah.
You're a United fan.
I have to tell you guys, Bodø/Glimt, they are from my part of the Norway, so I like them really well. But United is my first team, 100%.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it would just be a really good game to watch. You know what I mean? I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to the way they play. Like I said, if you come, you don't come. I'm gonna be taking notes. I'll voice you a half time what I think of the first half. If I get even the second, I'll voice note you. But yeah, people. Honestly,
if you look at the league, Bodø/Glimt is in 9th place.
Where are we? 21st. Where are we?
We are in 21st place. So it's not looking well.
So we got at least 11 teams on 10 teams worse than us, eh? No, looks like we're 10th there as well. In the Europa League, we're mid-table mediocre. Fucking hell, guys. Mid-table mediocre in the Prem. Mid-table mediocre in the fucking Europa League. And you know how you know how I know we are certified mid-table mediocre in the Premier League, right? On Saturday at 5 o'clock, Manchester United were 10th, right? Right? Bournemouth play at 5:30, comes 7:30, 7:40, we're fucking 11th, right? Come Monday night, Nottingham Forest fucking win, we're fucking 12. The reason why you know you're a mid-table mediocre is when teams around you win, you drop down a fucking place. That's what happens here. This is where I swear to God, if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. That's where we are. And we've got 10, 12 teams. I think the league goes to 36. We're 21st. So that means we're mid-table mediocre. So we've got about 14 teams worse than us. But yeah, Sean, last word from you before we go around to Lesso and Jarvis. Talk to me. What's the hope? Give us the hope. Look, going into the weekend, Sean. Come on.
Sure, no. For where I'll get my hope from is, again, I'll just remind people to try and put things in the context of where the team is coming from and the kind of United team you would like to see. The United I would like to see is one that takes its time to develop. I want to build a legacy. I don't want to be changing managers every year, chasing the high of a trophy, as some other teams are doing. I think we need to build sustainable football, and I think that takes time, necessarily to do. So for me, I'm not giving up on the season. I'm not just expecting the team to lose every time. I am seeing consistent improvement over time, and I'm hopeful. I think we have some very exciting young players in the squad. Lots of hard-nosed professionals as well, and with good vibes, with good energy. Hopefully, they're able to block out the noise. They can put together a run. I'm not going to throw out my toys. If we're not successful in the Europa or in the league this season, because again, I'm thinking about things long term. So I'm looking, 2, 3, 4 year horizons. Where would we like the team to be? What are we trying to do right now to get us there? And the idea that there's a specific thing that we can see. For everybody who thinks that there is some standard that I have dropped, I'm not the one who dropped the standard. The standard dropped 5 years ago. It dropped 7 years ago, 10 years ago. It's called football heritage, right? So take it up with your therapist or whoever is you talk to regulate your emotions. But I think the team and the manager definitely needs time. So I back the in-use approach. I back the long-term approach. I back the data-driven, less emotional approach to looking at on the team. And I hope that I hope that they're able to work on the personality side of things. So in terms of the tactics, I think they're okay there, but the personality, the charisma, the spirit, that aspect of things, I think is where the improvement basically needs to come from. So big up to all the people that I'm triggering.
You can't change his personality. Ten Hag is who he is.
And that personality might be what would get him sacked ultimately. But I think, Jarvis, we've definitely seen, or at least I think I've seen Ten Hag change over the 3 years. So he's a lot more expressive now than he was when he first came. Even if some of that expressiveness might come off as weird to the fans, but at least he's been a bit more combative with the reporters, with journalists. I think he's getting into his own personality or whatever. So yeah, I think let's not forget who are coming from basically as United, right? I know we all remember what it was like with 15 years ago or whatever, but that's not who this team is right now. And the players and the squad, they need our support, right? I think, and that's my own approach basically. What can I hold myself accountable for? Which is how the kind of energy I put out there, and the energy I put out there into this United team is one of support. Support. I know that they're working hard. I know they all want to win. So I don't think Ten Hag is just going out there trying to lose or setting the team up to lose. I know they all want to win. I get the sense that they're working hard. So support. If another manager comes in, we'll support him as well. But it's glory Man United, right? No glory Sancho or glory a specific player or something like that. It's United.
Big up Windy. Windy says, Sean, the problem is United is not a state-owned team. Therefore, success is critical for the global brand. Yeah,
I was arguing a couple of months ago that the brand and commercials of football side were integrated, right? And I used to trigger Nuruddin. That was one of our original fights.
You know what? I don't like that word. I'm not going to lie to you because I think football clubs have hearts and souls because a lot more fans invest emotionally, financially, and psychologically, like invest in these. So there's a heart and soul behind this. We're not just money because capitalism, neoliberalism has took over the game. I don't accept that. I don't want my club to be a brand. I want my club to have a fucking heartbeat and be about fucking people and about community and be about romantic stories about the history of the Busby Babes, the history of the tragedy, the rise from the Phoenix, the Flames to go and be champions. It's like you can't make up the Manchester United story. It's more, so it's not a fucking brand. It's real. People died playing for this fucking football club. So I hate that bullshit, and I still get triggered by it.
Yeah.
But I know that's what she's trying to make. She's saying to you, we're not state-owned where you can just be bankrolled.
Yeah.
Bought the next new toy straight away. And actually, I tell Windy, they're sacking fucking people who've been there for a long time who actually do it. The people that they need to sack, they're not sacking. And the people that they shouldn't sack, they're fucking sacking. That's what's happening with Ineos.
I just want to, my final word is just to say that I think United fans who believe that somehow, right, if all the fans banded together and really hated the club, that would make a difference. I just don't see it that way, right? So people who feel like my attitude or fans' attitude, can somehow impact things, unless we plan to hold, going to Jim Ratcliffe's house and hold him hostage to our decisions, basically, or to our desires. I don't know what I can do from sunny California other than support the team. So, please don't blame me for. I'll tell Jim Ratcliffe. I'll give him a call in our weekly meeting. I'll give him the feedback basically that all you fans are passing on. But yeah, I just don't think that if we were angry enough, or if we can just be angry enough, then we can get what we want from the owners. I just don't buy that. I don't think that's I don't think that's the way to go. We need to support the players and the team, and I think for me that's what I'm interested in doing generally.
Yeah, big up, Sean. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, I think we were talking about Ten Hag, and I just want to make a point because you said you have changed a little bit in the way he talks the last 3 years. I think Ten Hag has a big problem communicating clearly and getting his thoughts through to this group of players. I'm not making an excuse for Ten Hag. I'm just reminding you about Ten Hag, and I will show you this little clip I found on Ten Hag when he just came to England. You have probably seen this before. So if you listen, remember that when Ten Hag first got to England and he thought the word please meant thank you. So listen to this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Well done tonight, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
Please.
Thank you. Wish you well for the rest of the season.
Just thank you for coming.
So, this is the level. This is the level. I'm not trying to get at Ten Hag. I'm just explaining you how the level of language is. His level of language. So it tells you a lot. And when you have this guy as communicator, because you have to be a good communicator if you want to be a manager of a big team like Man United. So it's difficult. Maybe Ten Hag should try to get a translator to help him get this message through to the players.
Yeah.
To get it right.
Yeah, 100%. But I think he's not going to do it now. He's too stubborn, Jarvis. If he's not done it already when he was saying that, I remember seeing it and actually thinking, yeah, I was like, you know what? English is not his first language.
Yeah,
And why
yeah.
criticize him for that? But when you frame it like that, then yeah. But to be fair, they did say at Tottenham, he did a presentation for them and they didn't understand what he was trying to say. That's why they didn't hire him. Do you know that? People don't know that. He went for an interview at Spurs. You know, when Spurs sacked, what's his name? You know, when before they hired the Nottingham Forest manager now.
Nuno Espirito.
Yeah, before they hired Nunes, Ten Hag went for an interview and they said his communication wasn't that great, and I thought they were chatting rubbish about him. I'm not gonna lie to you, but yeah, you can really go on if you research it. You can find that article. It was all there.
I just want to shout out like Adewale Adeleke. I think that might be Davido, right? So I think if you're really really upset, like I think you're rich enough to put together like billions of dollars to sign to buy Man United, right? And you can take over and make a different decision than Ratcliffe is doing. Like I said, I'll talk to Sir Jim, when I get with him this weekend and pass across the message. But that would be wild, right? Because actually Davido. But I think that's Davido's full name. I think.
Yeah.
Let me see. Davido.
Go ahead, Elite Baller. Your last comment.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of people who are saying that they've got no faith in Ineos.
Where do you stand on Ten Hag, Elite Baller? Where do you stand on the manager?
So this is what I'm saying. I don't have too much faith in him. I have more faith in Ineos for the simple fact that they've hired football experts compared to what we had in accountants and bankers, etc. So I do think they will do the right thing. I think they are just giving him one last chance. They brought in players that they know he would want, who can make us stronger. Some of them have worked, others haven't quite clicked into gear yet. But I know that Ten Hag's not the future. He's not the future. We need someone sort of younger, with more charisma, more aura, more personality, more inspirational, more motivational. He's not that guy. He did well in his first year. He's got us 2 trophies. I appreciate him for that. But I don't think we're ever going to be consistent in the league with Ten Hag as a manager, unfortunately. Because I've been here under Sir Alex and we had him for decades. I don't want to see managers get sacked. But at the end of the day, we're not Manager FC, we're not Player FC, we're Man United FC. So the club outlives all these people. So yeah, he's not the future, and I think Ineos will do the right thing, but they're giving him one last chance. I don't expect to see him here at the end of the season. I'll put it that way. When he goes, I don't know. I can't tell you that, but I don't expect him to be here at the end of the season. I think we'll have a new manager, whether it's Ruud van Nistelrooy or someone totally different. But yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, big up. Let's go. Last word of the show.
I actually agree with Elite Baller. None of us can actually make that prediction. It's with the owners to decide whatever they decide to do. Their vision is clearly something that we all don't know. So at this point, it'll be clutching at straws if you actually think that you know what these guys want to achieve at Man United. But just to overall clarify everything, with regards to Ten Hag, it is what it is, and it just didn't. It just hasn't worked out. It's a mess right now at the moment, and I think it's a time where, we live in an era where people forget that, managers. Not every manager can stay here for 6, 7 years or 8 years. Things need to be recycled. And you see that with a whole lot of teams. I know a lot of people will be saying that we can't be like other teams and whatnot, but you have to move on with the times. You have to understand that in life you can't have it your way. You have to sometimes adapt to according to what everyone else is doing. It's like saying that you're a company and you're competing with other companies who, like, for example, have adapted to the technology things of doing things. So if they've got people who are data analysts on board, they've got people who literally collect data, big data, and turn it into information, and information into knowledge. you're competing with that. And then your company is trying to do things the old-fashioned way. In the new world where everything is technologically made, we're in the fourth industrialization. So if you don't adapt as a company, what happens? You stay behind, right? And that's what happened to a lot of companies that have went liquidated or anything. And that also goes into football, because football now is a corporation. We don't like saying it, but as the minute money was involved in this and commercial experts were involved and everything was exchanging hands, football became a business. So football are operating just like companies do outside of it. So people need to learn to link the two as well, and the way things are going, I'm not going to lie to you. Man United, I don't think we are, like I said with Ineos, that I don't think they're very sure what they know what they're doing. The first decision that they've made, they made it without any of the technical, without the help of a sporting director and Barada. So it was between two men who do not know how to really make footballing decisions, one really experienced at that level. So but I think maybe now with everything in place, I think that hopefully Barada and Ashworth will be given the license to make the decisions that they necessarily need to make, because we need to move forward now. We need to be a club that's progressive. We haven't been progressive. We've been left behind for so many years. We cry about being left behind, but yet we don't want to make the tough decisions. So it's either of the two. You have to decide which one you want to side with. It's either you want to be left in the past and say that we don't sack managers because that's what Man United don't do, but we forget that to even reach Sir Alex Ferguson, we sack managers. We wouldn't have had Sir Alex Ferguson if we never sacked. How many managers do we have? We had 5 managers or 6 before we got to Sir Alex. So I don't get this notion. Yes, you do it until you get to the right manager. You do it. That's how it is. Everyone does it. That's how you move and progressively move in the real world. Ideally, we'll all like to have the same manager for many, many years, and that's just not how things are going at the moment in football. Things change. And we have to accept that we also have to change in order to compete with these other teams. Just like how we had to change to improve our facilities, just like how we had to change in terms of investing in better medical staffs and improving the information and technology into the club, and improving, which helps improve the players in terms of the diets that they adapt to. All these things you have to change. Otherwise, you get left behind. You know what I'm saying? So I think as a club now, we need to learn to make tougher decisions. I mean, even if the next manager, it's not a guarantee that the next manager will work. No one said it's good. It's a guarantee. So everyone that comes in, I'm not accepting this thing where it takes 3 years to implement a style of play. I mean, I had, as a 10-year-old, I played in the under 15s. I was the youngest in that team. I played alongside my brother. I played alongside some other couple of guys. And, the coach, the first thing that he did was to drill us into playing a certain way. And if I, as a 10-year-old, I can grasp the way we play, I know when I come off from the bench and they introduce me and I know where I have to be, and I know where my teammates are specifically. I'm sorry. If you can't do this at professional level, then that means that there's just not something that's clicking there. Something's not working. So we just need right now, I think personally, we need a manager who's gonna come in and coach this. That's all I care about at the moment. I want someone who's gonna coach these players, and I wanna see us structurally prepare ourselves in every game. I wanna see us do something repeatedly, because we're not doing that. Every game is different players, different way of playing, different, you know what I'm saying? You can't function like that. It's not going to yield to success, whether you like it or not. That's facts. There's no success behind that. There's no sustainability behind that. You need to build something from the ground up, and it needs to be sustainable, and it needs to filter throughout the whole team. Your subs need to play the same way that your first team is playing. Anyone who comes onto the pitch needs to be able to, they need to know what they're doing. Any player that maybe, for example, if you don't like playing players, taking players from development when in case there's a first team injury crisis, maybe you're trying to play different players in different areas. Those players, you drilled it into them. So Alex did it all the time. It's not a first. Most managers do it. So, but you need to know that these players, before they even step into those positions, and they're capable of doing and playing those positions. They know what their instructions are specifically. So for me, there's a lot of coaching. You can clearly see that there's no coaching, because coaching comes with patterns. If you see something where there's patterns and everything, then you see it repeatedly being done, then that means that there is some sort of coaching and there is a plan behind what we're doing.
So your
And it's
definition
sustainable.
of coaching is that it's successful. That your definition of coaching is that it's successfully implemented, right? Otherwise, there is no coaching being done.
Yeah, listen. Hence why I said implementing a style of play does not take you 3 years. This is why I was against this whole thing the whole time, because I said that within 3 months you should be able to see what you're doing. That is the bare minimum. You see it everywhere. You see it everywhere, my guy. It's not even a thing where you have to question it. You see it with every team that they've been coached, and you can see what the manager's trying to do. With us, you can't. It's baffling. Like you're literally trying to scratch your head, because I've never seen this personally.
Listen, you can't.
I've never seen this.
Yeah, you can't. I can see what Ten Hag's trying to do. I think most people.
Whatever he's trying to do is not sustainable. Let's just make that clear. Whatever he's trying to do is not sustainable. If it's sustainable, my guy, you would have been seeing it repeatedly, and you don't see it repeatedly being executed perfectly. That's the problem I have. Because let me tell you, like I said, I'll refer back to my story where I was like, when I was 10 years old, that's the first time I learned what positional sense is, what identity is, what we do without the ball and what we do with it.
And there
we were taught that. We were taught that at that age. So
yeah, and there you go. Big up to Agostino. I think he's got the most poignant chat. Big up, he's won the bigger chat tonight. He says, I just want to go back to playing good football again so we can stop talking about managers and transfers. It's so depressing being a United fan these days.
It's never going to change, because we're going to sabotage, after Ten Hag, we'll sabotage the next manager that comes, and we'll sabotage the one that comes after that.
Ineos are here now.
Yeah, because I think everything that we're just saying, people just want to win. Like that seems to be the conclusion, right? We just want to have points at the end of the day. And I don't know what we think we are asking for, right? Or if anything we think we're saying here is news, or it's new information to English and everything.
We want to see football. We want to see good football. Sorry, we just want to see good football. That's all we want to see.
I don't know.
It's not like rocket science, man.
So
everybody
is it like you think?
We don't
so
expect
think nobody else. You think Ten Hag doesn't want to see good football, or Sir Jim doesn't want to see good football, or I don't want to see good football? Like, I don't understand where people get this idea from, that they're the ones who want to see the team win, and the only way to show your bona fides as a true United fan is to spend all your time hating the manager and the club, right? The idea that if only I would join you guys in your feelings, or if only all the United fans could band together in our collective, dislike of Ten Hag, then there will be a different outcome. I'm like I said, I'm going to give Sir Jim a call, and relay this message.
Yo, that's where we have to. I think we're going to have to end it there. But big up to everybody, please. We need 25 more likes to reach our target. I hope those of you watch this film later. Sorry, not film, this stream later, will be able to do it. I think Windy said something that resonated. She's like, we're playing bottom of the table. I don't even expect us to win anymore. And that is a lot of the problem, where the problem is. There it is. I don't even have confidence we can win against the bottom three in the Premier League. Blood murder, she wrote. But big up to everybody. Please smash a like. Please, you follow. Make sure you check out Elite Baller, the channel Elite Baller 2050. 2050. Check the channel out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Interesting content he's doing on there. Make sure you follow at Sean Thomas on Twitter, and check out the geopolitical podcast. It's called How We See Things. Make sure you check that out. Please go and check out Jarvis Cocker Bowley 77 on Twitter, and make sure you check out one of my favorite YouTube shows on a Monday night, 9 o'clock, Man UFC Realist TV. It's called the Jarvis fucking Corner. 2 hours up in the corner, and him, Mbappe, Tom, and Stu go over a lot and asks. Really, I love the format. Proper show. Should have his own fucking television. That 2 hours on Norwegian fucking television, on bloody cold iceberg television. That's what it should be called. Should be sponsored by the iceberg, the polar bears. But yeah, here we keep it 100%, and make sure you follow Black Rain on Twitter as well. At Black Rain, big up Lesso. I think he's got some content coming up soon. He might be interviewing some footballers on his channel, and make sure you check out his channel as well, Lesso Football. But yeah, we keep it 100% here. We say free fucking Palestine, free Ireland, from the river to the fucking sea, up the fucking Irish, free Sudan, free Congo, free Ogaden, free Tigray, free Lebanon, free, big up to the Haitians as well, free fucking Haiti. Solidarity with the Haitians in the US who are going through it. Solidarity anywhere where people are feeling oppressed, whether their orientation, whether they're their gender, whether their ethnicity, whether their religious beliefs or non-religious beliefs. Anywhere where people in humans are being discriminated against, we stand. The struggle is all one. We stand against the dehumanization. We stand against war, profiteering. We stand against the big industry military complex. We stand against them. They're the enemy people. We despise those psychopaths who sell weapons that shred babies. So total solidarity. Stop the fucking genocide. End the occupation. You know what I mean? Decolonize people. Decolonize. These systems and structures are put in place to dehumanize people. We need to stop that. It's racism why the Palestinians are getting murdered. It's racism. It's all rooted back in evil racism. Please let people know about what's going on in Palestine. Let's keep waving their flags. Let's keep waving their fears. Let's at least uplift them. That's the least we can do. Big up to everybody. Get to a demo. Get to a solidarity march where you can to try to stop it. Don't be like one of those, you know, when your kids ask you or your grandchildren ask you, what did you do? Make sure you tell them what you did. Big up to everybody who's watching this later. Erik ten Hag came up with strange tactics tonight. Mas fucking Rawi as a fucking number 10. That's why Jarvis has got his arms crossed. It's fucking resolute. Even Jarvis. When Erik ten Hag starts losing Jarvis, optimistic Jarvis, you know shit is in the pan, yeah?
Yeah, well, he hasn't lost me yet, but I need to see. He can't keep doing this.
Well, he lost you tonight. He lost you tonight. He doesn't lost you forever, but he's lost you tonight.
No.
Yeah. So, people, please talk about it. You know, let us know in the comments. Get in the chat. What's going on? Is he sabotaging himself? What happened from season 1, where he was making the right calls? His game management was superb. What was he doing then? But love and light to everybody, and please make sure you follow Elite Baller and follow everybody. Man UFC, VLCV, Jarvis, Lesso Football, Black Rain, at Black Rain on Twitter. Make sure you follow everybody at Sean Thomas as well. There you go. That's all the handles as well. But big up, love and light. Look after each other. 2 hours and 2 minutes we've been live. The first time I'm falling asleep on the stream, actually. So, love. I didn't watch the game. That's why I'm not been screaming or shouting, people. Because I didn't watch the game. And it'd be very unfair on me to comment on the game I didn't watch. But that's why I've got these wonderful human beings who are here, part of this community, who are telling me all about the game. So, love and light. Take care. Look after each other. And we see you maybe Saturday or Friday night, Friday evening for the watcher. For the not watch along. We'll be live with Saeed on Sunday for the watch along. Yeah. But make sure, people, that
West Ham
preview Friday. Are you around on Friday, Jarvis?
No. Tomorrow night I'm going out to the bar with my with the guys.
Hey, Jarvis, enjoy. Absolutely enjoy. Why not? After the shit you've been through tonight, maybe you can ask the beer while you're drinking the beer why Masraoui started a fucking number 10.
Why, Ten Hag? Why?
See what I mean, people? Jarvis is going out to drown in sorrows today. It's today, really. We're in today. A big up to him, but yeah. Well, we'll see for the match reaction after Sunday night, people. Love and light. Look after each other. Take care.
Big up, guys.
Good night.
Take care. Night.